Topnotch is a very annoying character who can play both far and close range. Like in the Flux episode, the gameplay for this one is going to be quite rough, as I'm not an adept Topnotch. The main reason being his weird primary. So you hold down primary, then let go to detonate it, which is a bit weird. You gotta make sure that you're holding it in order to get the detonation. You can tell if you're allowed to detonate your grenades if that weird bar on your crosshair goes over to the other side. So if you just click, you're not going to be able to detonate it. For hidden tech, your crosshair will glow red when the grenade is in range of an opponent, and this will help you train your muscle memory to detonate these a lot better. This manual detonation will come in handy for getting people around corners or spamming Kai's bubble, as the explosion isn't affected by the slowdown effect of Kai's bubble. His secondary requires locking onto your opponent for a few seconds, after which a giant missile will smack the ground. This will not chase them, it will just fall down where you reached the lock-on. An easy way to avoid this, if you're on the receiving end of it, is to simply dodge whenever you see the warning airstrike symbol at your feet. You can press it at any time, and you will avoid the missile completely. You can also press dodge the second you hear the missile whistle, and you will also avoid it completely. To avoid this as a Topnotch, you can either wait until they finish their dodge, or if they dodge your missile, wait until the dodge is over and then follow up with your special ability, which is a line of missiles that will fall straight down. These missiles do reach from spawn to spawn on most maps, so a viable strategy to get some early damage and knockback to mess up their rollout is going to be the second you spawn to just spam that missile. Although it does have a pretty lengthy cooldown, so weigh the odds and benefits of that. Topnotch does not have traditional jump mechanics and instead has fuel that helps him fly. This will regenerate after you let go, but it is quite slow, and you can't really stagger it very meaningfully. The fastest way to regenerate it is going to be to touch down onto a surface. The absolute fastest way to refresh your rocket fuel, though, is going to be to use your special ability, which will instantly refill your fuel. Very useful. The latest patch does say that you will get a warning if you get too close to the sky barrier while flying, but as far as I can tell, that isn't active or just not available in a private match. And that's about it for hidden tech. There's not a lot of useful things that I know for Topnotch. He can still rocket jump, so keep that in mind. The main thing is going to be the crosshair turning red when an opponent is within range. For loadouts, Reef Buoy is okay, but Hunter's Idol will prevent you from getting knocked around more while you are in the sky, and preventing yourself from taking just that little bit of extra knockback is going to be useful, as you will spend a lot of time in the air and you don't want to get bonked into the skybox. I did some testing, and boost capacitor lets you get from end to end of the Golden Zephyr 2 seconds quicker than if you didn't have boost capacitor, and that's pretty slow in my opinion. In the short ranges, this is going to mean that you're not going to be able to juke your opponent around as quickly as you might think, so I wouldn't really recommend a boost capacitor. Rocket radio for slot 2 is going to be the way for more sniper approaching Topnotches, the ones that prefer to shoot those missiles across the length of the entire map rather than getting in their faces. But if you are a very aggressive Topnotch, and you don't have to be in their faces to be more aggressive, you can take advantage of Super Cav for that very aggressive playstyle of constantly getting KOs and getting your spam back. It will let you spam a lot, unless my testing is off. Juking Jukebox also does not seem to affect Topnotch whatsoever, at least in my testing. So for slot 3, you're going to want Crystal Crown, which is basically a must if you want to keep spamming. If you want to keep spamming that giant missile, which is very good as it has a lot of knockback and a lot of damage. Bastion Bell is going to be for the more aggressive Topnotch, but Crystal Crown I feel is better in most cases. And the spam loadout is what I'm going to be using today. Although in my opinion you should either have Rocket Radio or Bastion Bell. Oh, so this is or me being awful at Topnotch really comes into play. So one thing I did forget to mention is that both Topnotch's secondary and special ability... Oh, see, look, that's where the getting people around the corners comes into clutch. The secondary and special ability for Topnotch will both spike your opponents. So if they're floating off the map, just go ahead and try to use your abilities to spike them into the barrier. I'm not sure if we insta-shot. Couldn't tell if that was a one-shot on the fish. That might be a useful tip. It does a lot to the fish. I just don't know if it one-taps the fish. I find the easiest way to land your second or your special ability, the line of missiles, is to kind of, like most things in this game, predict where your opponent's going to be and use your ability there. It does work at close range, the line of missiles. It's just, it just doesn't work at extremely close range. So if they're right in your face, there's a bit of a gap where there's no missiles. So you're gonna want to keep a decent enough distance from your opponent to fully utilize the special ability. No idea where the heck this Izel went. It managed to completely avoid us. When your secondary detonates onto an opponent, it actually does make you jump, unless I'm completely lying here. Like you can rocket jump with your secondary ability once that giant missile falls down. That's just something that you can do. If you're out of fuel, if you're mid-reload or something, and you're off the map and your opponent's right in your face, you, I guess, can use the missile to rocket jump and try to save yourself. I'm not really sure when that's actually going to play out for you, but it is a thing. So here we're in a dangerous situation. While Topnotch does fly, he doesn't... Oh! He cannot fly away quickly, and he has no way to like propel himself forward in one direction while he's midair. So that is something to look out for. If you get caught out, you are going to be in a rough spot. Spike your opponent there using our special ability. And there's the super cav, helping our cooldowns. And I tripped myself out there. That missile was on such a big delay. I was wondering if we had two Topnotches on our team. So looking at how quickly I'm going through these cooldowns, I don't think that Crystal Crown and Super Cav at the same time are necessary. They will let you spam a lot, but it seems that Super Cav alone is good enough. Like, Crystal Crown might be overkill. So you might be able to free up that third slot for Bastion Bell. Because right in a scenario like this, if my opponents want to push up on me, there's really not much I can do about it. Only one decided to try to push up on me there. Oh. But if multiple had decided to push up on me, I would have been decimated there. And their Bastion Belt wouldn't have helped us, but staying behind cover would have helped us not be such a free target for that Izel. Spike them down right here. And thanks to Crystal Crown, we do have our missile ready. So I do know the Izel's right there. Trying to finish off this Amphora. That was a waste. I should have focused the Izel. Especially because I don't have Bastion Bow. So that was a bit of a throw on me. We're letting them get way too close here. We're going to have to start babysitting our teammates. I wish you could see your teammates' stats mid-game. That would help me know who to babysit some more, you know? Okay, so they're getting aggressive on me. I think they're realizing that I'm perhaps the weakest link in the team. Because I keep throwing. And having no viable green artifact. Well, Hunter's Idol is very viable, but as far as recovery is concerned, Hunter's Idol doesn't help you recover. So I think even if you are an aggressive Topnotch, you're definitely going to want either Rocket Radio or Bastion Bell. Seems to be the strategy here. Just a complete lack of those two is quite dangerous on any character, and it's looking like Topnotch especially here. See if we can snipe him with that special ability, and yes we can. Almost 3k damage. That's actually ridiculous. I thought my performance there was absolutely garbage. Our opponents got way too close to winning that. 16 KOs, that's... Honestly, I did not feel that I was performing that well. I thought that was very poor gameplay, and I guess that goes to show just how powerful Topnotch can be, even if you're not very good at the game. There, we definitely... I think I would have probably done the same amount of damage, but I would not have gotten as many KOs if opponents were focusing me more. And Topnotch is going to be a character that you want to focus because he does have that sniper style gameplay. He can really spam you from afar, and if you let a Topnotch go unchecked like that, it is going to be very dangerous for your team. But he doesn't have any real way to escape. So if like two people focus him, Topnotch will get deleted very quickly. So that's something to keep in mind, both playing as Topnotch and playing against Topnotch. To avoid that, you're, well, I don't know, you're just going to want to keep a distance between you and your opponents, or you're going to want to play around your team so they're not able to easily focus you as much as Topnotch. Because as you saw there, towards the end, that Izel started to realize that I was an easy target, and I couldn't really do much to escape the Izel. Izel can just close the gap pretty quickly. The best defense I have against that is to just out-damage the Izel before they can delete me. And that's going to be about it. Sorry for the poor gameplay there. I'm not very good at Topnotch. He's perhaps my least favorite character just because he's so weird. He's so slow. He just doesn't suit my playstyle at all. My playstyle is more in your face, very aggressive, and very mobility based. And Topnotch just does not meet those check marks for me. But yeah, we're almost done with the series here. I'll see you guys in the last episode.